Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is JR, you know that, and we're outside of the NBA office. We're getting ready to check in with my main man. It's a surprise. Hopefully you guys learned something. I'm trying to hook you guys up here with some knowledge.
We're the Nick City Dancers, and you're checking out JR's Sports Brief.
That's kind of awesome, isn't it? We are here with a very special guest, Mr. Sal LaRocca, Vice President of the Global Merchandising Group of the NBA. Now, that's complicated for some of you. Mr. LaRocca, say what's up to the people. Say hi.
Hi.
Now, break down, what do you do here at the NBA? Everybody's favorite sports league. What's going on?
It's really simple. I oversee the business that generates the marketing and merchandising of the NBA. So when you think about any product that you see with an NBA team logo on it, any product that you see with an NBA player's image on it, all that stuff goes through me and my department.
So all of those NBA 2K games that people play, the jerseys I have at home.
All the stuff you already have, yeah. Video games, basketballs, apparel, you name it. All that stuff is managed by me and my group.
Now, I have a Rasheed Wallace Portland Trailblazers jersey at home now. I don't know how well that sits here, but that's good too, right?
That's great.
Everybody loves Rasheed at the NBA.
Everybody does.
So can you just explain to the people, how did you get into your position? How do you end up here, especially with the NBA?
Kind of a long and unconventional story, frankly. When I was in college, I worked part-time at a sporting goods store in New York City called Paragon Sports, which is downtown.
I remember.
And fantastic store. And as time had gone on, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I graduated college. And so I was managing all the team sports business at Paragon at the time. And the NBA had someone who was calling on Paragon in an effort to get me at the time to do as much NBA business as possible.
Cool.
And there were two people who were working at the NBA at that time doing that job. One was assigned to the eastern part of the country and one was assigned to the western part of the country. And the league, and this is back in 1989, made a decision to add a third person. So the person who was calling on me called me and said, you know, you should come here and interview for this job because you've been around this business a little bit, you'd really like it. And so I did, and that was a little over 20 years ago, and now I sit here managing that department. That's
pretty cool, and I see behind us we have a Kings here. Reminds me of Omri Caspi. Now the NBA is global. It's big. Got everybody in it. How does that part of your job, or how do you impact the globalization of the NBA through merchandising and all this other cool stuff?
One of the things that has happened in sports in the last 20 years is that giving fans an opportunity to put a product on their body or to play a video game or to bounce, in our case, a basketball, is really how a lot of people and more people around the world are connecting with the sport.
Right.
So in our part of the league, we help cultivate fans and help continue to make the connection between fans and the sport. So you mentioned Omri Caspi. Well over 30% of the league, I think now, is comprised of international players. And in those markets, there's a tremendous following for those players and how they perform on the court. And one way for people to continue to connect to them is through wearing a jersey or a hat with their favorite team on, or playing a video game and, you know, making believe that they're part of that team as well. So in terms of the globalization of the sport, the more we can connect with fans around the world, the more the sport grows, and one of the primary ways of that connection is through merchandise. So we have a direct impact on the growth of the game because more and more people who are exposed to us want to demonstrate that through, like I said, playing video games, actually playing basketball, wearing their favorite player's jersey, and so forth. Now,
that's pretty cool because earlier, I think, before the season started, I saw Dwight Howard in India. I just read an article. There was, I think there's like a 7-foot, 14-year-old kid out of India playing in Florida. So, I mean, the NBA is definitely everywhere. Now, another thing that connects everybody globally is kind of where I'm from. The online world. How do things work online? I mean, I know for myself with the iPhone and the BlackBerry and everything, the NBA is always on point in everything it does online. How has that affected what you do here with the league?
I mean, it's a great point because the world is really much more connected today than it ever has been.
Smaller.
So we have more Facebook friends than any other sports league. We have more followers on Twitter than any other sports league.
I'm
You're a Twitter follower?
I'm in both. I'm in both categories.
You're one of our friends?
Yes,
that's terrific.
I've been an NBA. Oh, nah, I'm not an NBA. I've been a fan of the NBA since before Twitter, since before you could click it and actually do it. If that makes sense.
So we have in terms of how we get to people around the world, most people connect to us in that way. So NBA.com, via Facebook, via Twitter. So it helps us in a variety of different ways. We break news there. We send offers out on merchandise that people who follow us have an opportunity to get certain products, before the rest of the world has access to them.
Right.
And the more and more we can deepen and strengthen the connection with the fans, the better off we believe we will be in the long term. So the global consumer or global basketball enthusiast, regardless of where they are in the world, is pretty much interested in the same thing. The iPhone, BlackBerries,
right.
Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff is very prominent for teenagers everywhere.
Right.
So the NBA has become multicultural. It has become inclusive of boys, girls,
right.
young adults, young kids, teens. So we're constantly looking for different ways to connect to them, and
right.
what you just described is one of the primary ways that we do that, and that continues to grow the scope of the sport on a worldwide basis.
Right. Well, all of those people, they're watching right now. Do you have
all of those people?
Every one of them. Say what's up again.
Hey, what's up again? There's millions of people. It's the most people I've ever spoken to in my life.
What's going on, millions of people? Now, is there any advice you have to the millions of people, anyone that wants to get into sports merchandising, any little tips?
Well, and I've been at this a long time, although I look 12 years old. I'm really not. Yeah. And I have been at this a long time. And there really is no substitute for hard work.
Right.
And most people think because it's sports that they think that all you do every day is you go into your office and you just talk about the games.
One more time. Night. Sorry to interrupt you. Tell them hard work.
Hard work.
There you go.
No substitute.
Yeah.
And it is a business, and people talk about that from players to owners to fans. People recognize that it's a business, much in the way that a retail store is a business, or an automaker is a business. So it is a business. So people do have to have requisite skill sets. You just because you can play basketball doesn't mean you can qualify for a job at the NBA. The same for the NFL. The same for Major League Baseball. Work hard, go to school, and there's a lot of sports marketing and management programs now available to people at the high school and the college level that frankly weren't available back when I was of that age.
Right.
So a lot of schools offer advanced courses in sports marketing and management, business administration, and so forth, and all those things are necessary. One thing that when people ask me the most direct question about if I were looking to get into this business, what should I do? I encourage everyone, and I will encourage my kids when they're of this age, is to go to law school, frankly.
Right.
Because lawyers who aren't practicing law, but they represent players, they are making business deals all day and every day. And I'm not a lawyer. I don't have a law degree. If I can rewind the clock 25 years, I'd probably try to get one.
Get in where you fit in.
But exactly, hard work, there is no substitution for that. And certainly, if you're passionate about something, you're certainly passionate about sports and basketball, it's a great place to be. But you don't just wake up here. You have to earn your way here just like everywhere else.
Right. So don't think just because you can dribble a basketball or you were the last point guard on the bench in high school that you can just come and work for the NBA. It doesn't work like that. Hard work. Mr. LaRocca, appreciate it.
Thank you, JR. Thanks for coming.
I know it. Millions of people. This is JR. This is Mr. Sal LaRocca. NBA office. Peace.